Greetings, everybody. My name is Jackie Pierce, and I am your instructor for ENG107 in Term 3 at Post University. So welcome to the first week of class. Every Monday, sometimes I get them done on Sunday night, but mostly Monday. I will be posting a video similar to this. I call these my weekly walkthrough videos, and it is exactly what it sounds like. So at the beginning of the week, I will help you get a jump start on whatever unit we are working on. As you probably know by now, the units in our course start on Monday and end on Sunday. The only time that that final due date changes is in the very last week of the course. So, set good habits now. Start early. Always kind of try to log in by Monday or Tuesday and get digging into the reading materials and the videos for the week. In most of the weeks, you will have a discussion board post. A good rule of thumb is to try to have your own response to the discussion board posted by Wednesday. And then that gives you until Sunday night to do the 2 or more required responses to your classmates. Make sure that you are doing your own work. Make sure that if you have any questions about any of the assignments, that you do not hesitate to ask me for help. There are a couple of ways that you can ask for help. One is the Ask the Instructor discussion board. I will note that it's public in the sense that the rest of the class can see that. So if you have a question that you think would benefit the other students in the class, please use that. And then I can answer it there, and I have to answer it once instead of multiple times. But you also can always email me. My email address is available in the course, but it's jpierce@instructor.post.edu. I answer emails very, very quickly, never more than 24 hours. And I am perfectly happy to set up a time with you to get on a live Zoom session if need be. But if you're starting the week with these videos, you should be in great shape in terms of knowing what the requirements are and all of those, any potential pitfalls that people may struggle with, that sort of stuff. So I will be back every Monday to do this, and we will do it by looking at the actual class materials. So what you should be seeing now is the course. And this is the home page. Every time you sign in on your computer, it will bring you to the announcements page. So all the announcements are posted here. They also do not expire or go away. So this announcement will be available throughout the class. This is good in case you do happen to fall behind or whatever. You can go back and watch the video for that week so that you can get some additional help with those assignments. Okay. So as you hopefully have looked at by now, we have a number of links on the left-hand side, including, of course, a link to the announcements and to the course information. Part of your assignment in week 1 is to read all that stuff carefully. So the course information, you have my introduction under Meet the Instructor. And then, of course, as I mentioned, Ask the Instructor is that discussion board forum. It works like all discussion boards in online classes. If you have a question that you want to post, you click on the Create a Thread, asking questions. Never be afraid to ask a question. Okay. And then you just click submit. Now, I will also note that a good idea is to subscribe to this particular discussion forum, because what happens then is if you click that button, you'll get a notification in your email every time somebody posts. Especially if you've posted a question, it'll alert you that I've posted something back to you. But it's a good idea to subscribe to it, because Your fellow students may ask a question that you didn't even know you had yet. So it's a good one. So that's how the Ask the Instructor works. Each of the units will open on Monday, so we can only look at Unit 1 right now, but we will look at each one as they come up. There is a separate link to discussions and journals, but I'm going to encourage and urge you to do everything in the course by clicking on the specific unit, because the items in this page, which is what we call it in an online class, are in the order that you should do them. So the first thing is always going to be an overview, and it's going to detail what we're studying this week. It's going to give you the objectives for the week, as well as the activities, sort of a list of activities that you will be doing. Directly below that, typically we find the readings and resources folder next, because normally you want to do that before you do anything else. But this week you can go ahead and do your discussion board, because of course you're introducing yourselves. So in the discussion board this week, this course is designed to focus on different topics and subject matters that matter to you. We are constantly interested in finding out things that matter to our students. So in this initial response, you're going to tell the class a little about yourself and share 3 items that are meaningful to you. Explain why you chose these 3 items and share your writing story. One of the biggest things that people miss in completing the assignments is just not doing the whole thing. So make sure that you do both of those things. Introduce yourself, share the 3 items, and what do you know about writing? How comfortable are you with writing? And what is one question you have about writing that you hope to have answered in this course? When you are ready to post, of course, you will click on the title, and I see we already have a lot, which is great. I'll be reading and responding to those. And you, again, would just click on Create Thread and post your introduction here. Now you can write directly in this box. You can make things bold, you can italicize, you can make the font larger, you can do all kinds of fancy things. You can insert a picture if you want. There's all kinds of fun things that you can do with the discussion boards. You can make lists, you can number things, etc., etc. Feel free to make these as fancy as you want. But do put it directly in this box. Now, if you want to use, say, Microsoft Word, because you're going to be using those to do your formal writing assignments, if you want to use something like that, or Google Docs, or anything that's a word processing program so that you can save it and then post it, that's absolutely fine. But on the discussion boards and the journals, you want to post directly in the box. So if you have created something, say in Microsoft Word, and saved it, you want to copy that text and paste it in here instead of attaching a file. You can attach a file, but that slows your fellow classmates down when they're trying to read your responses. So I always advocate for putting it directly in the box. Once you have done that, you click the submit button and you are good to go. Okay, so that's your first, well, really your second. Your first thing is to go through the overview. Your second thing is to go ahead and post your introduction. Then you get into the readings and resources. And like I said, this is where you do the learning for the course. So these are very important. You need to go through all the readings and resources before tackling any of the assignments that are going to be graded, because this is where you learn the materials that you need in order to succeed at those assignments. So we click on the readings and resources link, you will see that there's always a takeaway. There's always kind of a quote that gets you started. And then there are always some readings and videos. So this week, you're going to be reading about the academic writing process. You're specifically going to look at 2 chapters, one on grammar, one on punctuation. And then you have an article about perseverance by Carol Dweck, who's a very well-known thought leader. Her main concept is growth mindset. We're going to be talking about that and learning a lot about it this term. So you'll read that article and then you have some videos to watch. So there's a couple. One talks about grit, the other talks about that developing a growth mindset. You need to know those concepts because we are going to use those in our assignments. All right, so we go back to the unit, and the next item is your graded assignment for this week, which is the Unit 1 journal. So a couple of things to keep in mind about the journals. Like the discussion boards, they do have questions that you need to respond to. They have a writing prompt that you need to respond to. Unlike the discussion boards, your classmates will not be able to read your journal. It's really only me who's going to be reading it. So, journaling is a relaxed, reflective assignment that allows you to practice writing and apply what you have learned in the lesson. Every other week, you will be asked a series of short series of questions on a specific topic. Your task is to think about the question and write down your thoughts about it in 6 or more sentences. So this is reflective. There are no right or wrong answers. But if you are not fully developing your response, if you're not responding to all the questions and you don't have at least 6 sentences, then you're not really getting as much as you can out of these journals. For this first one, you're going to answer these questions. What is your first reaction when things get tough? What does this help you understand about yourself as a learner? And when was a time you showed grit and it paid off? This is why you want to watch those videos and do the reading before tackling this assignment. Typically, when there's a journal, there's not a journal every single week, but when there's a journal, you are encouraged to do that at the very end of the week because it gives you the whole week to do all the readings and resources. Okay. So that's what you're doing this week. When you're ready to post it, you click on that. And just like the discussion, you click on the button that says journal entry, give it a title, and then again, you can write directly in this box. Like I said, if you want to come back to it, let's say you don't feel like it's done, you can click on save entry as a draft or post the entry when you are completely ready for that. Okay. So there you go. That's all you have to do in Unit 1. We will have more assignments down the road that involve more writing, but this will get you started on the right path. So I hope everybody has a great first week. Please make sure you review the resources and let me know if you have any questions. All right. Thanks, everybody. Take care, and I'll see you next Monday for more walkthrough.